Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. Now that the dust has settled, what actually are the reactions to these tariffs, right? What are the people actually saying? Because it was easy to be able to back it when he was just naming out the tariffs and every country was going to send it to. But now that the dust has actually settled, the market has reacted to all the tariffs he has put out. How are people actually feeling? Where is the optimism? People that support him, are you still feeling optimistic like before? We're about to find out right now. If you like the video, drop a like. And if you want to see more videos like this, subscribe to the channel. Let's get right into it.
Caucus about 2 months ago had this screening of Ronald Reagan. And I went for the movie. And they should have another screening. And they should play Ronald Reagan on tariffs. And Ronald Reagan will say, it seems like the patriotic thing to do. But those people in Congress, they're just bowing to special interests. And tariffs always raise rates. They cause inflation. They hurt competitiveness. They hurt innovation. And it's a false patriotism. Don't fall for it.
Exactly. At the end of the day, right, tariffs is used as a target like mechanism to be able to increase prices so you can actually bring the economy back under your control. You can actually bring back the industry back under your control, right? If you want to target it, it's fine. But if you're gonna do overall to every country and every product, that's on a scale never seen before, never ever seen before. And people that always say no, it's not gonna increase the price. If tariffs are applied and they don't increase prices, then they have failed at the main objective. Tariffs are used to increase the price so that you can look for alternatives to be able to make the product. If it doesn't increase the price, then people don't change the behavior. And if they don't change the behavior, that means the whole goal of the tariff in the first place has totally failed. So tariff that doesn't increase prices is totally pointless. And if it does increase price, well, that's obviously not nice. Like, who the hell wants to buy more expensive stuff? Like, who wants that? Nobody.
And they should just watch that over and over and over again.
This seems pretty straightforward if you're a conservative. What also makes this, I think, somewhat absurd is they put out this formula here. I have it here. It's a chart like this that the president held up. And in the blue and white column, they basically had a made-up formula. Here's how Larry Summers describes it.
The formula
it's now
is
clear
wild.
that Donald Trump's administration computed reciprocal tariffs without using tariff data. No tariff data at all. This is to economics what creationism is to biology, astrology is to astronomy, or RFK thought is to vaccine science. The Trump tariff policy makes little sense, even if you believe in protectionist, mercantilist economics.
That's literally the point. You can target tariffs, right? It can be used to target certain part of the economy, but on a whole scale never seen before. It's like no protectionists, no isolationists will even they wouldn't even support this. It's crazy, absolutely crazy.
I don't understand. I mean, I guess they think nobody is going to bother to check, but making up numbers and then saying, oh, we're going to half that number and be generous is not math. It's also not economics. It's kind of no way to run the economics of the greatest economy in the world.
Well, look, I'm not going to get into the mathematical formulas they came up with because I wasn't there and I don't know how or why they.
Of course, you won't get into it because you know it's absolute BS. Like, the formula is literally stupid, so you won't get into it. Of course, like, everybody could see that.
They did it. I had mixed feelings about this, truthfully. I wasn't trained to believe in tariffs. You know, those of us who grew up as traditional Republicans have always thought what Ronald Reagan thought. And so what Trump is doing here is implanting new economic theory DNA inside of the Republican Party. And what you're seeing is some Republicans are rejecting it. Some Republicans are reluctantly going on with it. Some Republicans are enthusiastically embracing it. I know.
What are you doing? That's the question. What are you doing?
People in the business community who are on both sides of it, frankly, back home in Kentucky and elsewhere. I'm also persuaded, frankly, by the Trump argument regarding the working class in this country and also by the fairness argument. So I will just say this. If it works, it'll be the ballsiest and gutsiest thing a president's done in decades. Let me finish. Let me finish. And if it doesn't work, the political consequences fall on the shoulders of one man.
Actually, and I
Wow, that right there is the biggest concession we've ever had from him. Literally, he's a die-hard MAGA fan. That's the biggest concession ever. Like, it's actually gotten to a stage where these MAGA supporters are actually thinking, wait, okay, if this works, cool. If it doesn't work, we are screwed. Like, they are thinking this might not work. And for MAGA supporters, if you know anything about MAGA supporters, the moment they start being skeptical about Trump's actions, you know he's really, really messed up. For him to say that, that's a huge. You can look at his face right now. It's like he was so uncomfortable saying this. Like, I don't want to say that.
Totally agree with you. This is the one time I actually agree with you. Jim
Just
Cramer
one?
said it best. Well, there are several, maybe 5 times. This is one of those 5 times. Jim Cramer said this is a man-made issue. One man made this issue, and it was Donald Trump. And I think that the Americans wanted lower prices. They didn't want higher prices. What's going to happen, and what economists are saying, is not only are people going to get laid off, but costs are going to go up. And that's not what the American people want. And they're going to see it in the midterm elections. And so I think that the Republican Party needs to be very careful about what they're doing. The other problem with all of this is the uncertainty. He's not saying how long these tariffs are going to go. He's not saying, is this a done deal for a while, or is it a short-term deal?
So true. Because right now, like, the tariffs is supposed to put on Canada and Mexico, right? They haven't gone into effect yet. So it's like, okay, you've put these tariffs on everyone, including Mexico and Canada. Okay, are you still gonna put the tariffs you said earlier, still put on Canada? Like, which will literally, like, add on to the tariffs you're already putting on them, the one you put on all the countries in the world. Like, are you gonna do that or no? Like, what's the plan here? Like, how many tariffs actually coming for every single country? Are you gonna increase? Are you gonna reduce it? Because right now the tariffs on China is like, what? Everything added up is like 54%. That's wild. Like, surely that can't get through. But, like, you know, who knows? That's the problem. You're not sure what he's gonna do or what he's not gonna do.
And that's a problem.
Let me let Richard in.
You talked about the political consequences will be on the shoulders of one man, but the economic consequences are going to be on the whole
people.
world. This is an experiment that should not have been taking place. Because, and you talk about the Republicans who are not speaking up. So far, I mean, Mitch McConnell has come out with a statement. Where was he talking about this, by the way, during the campaign, when we knew that tariffs were going to be large on the agenda? You also said...
You just raised an issue. You
also
said during the campaign, when we knew, because Donald Trump
no one
talked
ever
about
expected this madness.
They expected Donald Trump to enact tariffs. He did it in his first term.
Actually, let's.
Putting tariffs on anything is nothing like this at all. They need to stop saying that. Oh my God, they put tariffs on country in the first time. Yeah, sure. You didn't put on every product and every single country that trades with America. This is a whole different level of discussion. Like, that's not the same.
I do think there was an expectation.
This is economic vandalism.
I mean, this is actually not.
Well, I would think a lot of
Hold
working
on a
class
second.
Americans would say what was done to them was economic
This
crunch.
is-
But the jobs that are going to come back, according to the Peterson Institute, the very jobs that Donald Trump says are going to come back are the jobs that America doesn't need. America needs high-paying, high-skilled, digital, a new age, AI-based economy.
Because America is a probably the most advanced, the most technological, the most educated economy the world has probably ever seen. They need high-level, high-tech level of education, high-level jobs, high-skilled level jobs, not making shoes and making T-shirts. No, America is way too educated to be making this kind of stuff. They make weapons, advanced weapons, right? They make iPhones, iPads, they make electric cars. That's what America do. They don't make T-shirts, they don't make shoes. Bringing all that back into America is just making your workers do work that they're overqualified for. And also, if you bring that back, it's just going to be AI. It's just going to be machines now. It's just like, people are not going to be doing it. It's just going to be machines doing it now. They're not going to be people literally like 100 years ago.
He's talking about bringing back his old style. Basically, look.
Well, no,
here is a shoe. It's my shoe, right? It is made in China. You talked about these luxury products. They are. Right, but you take your shoe off and see where it's made. Yes. Made in China, made in Vietnam. This is going to be 34% more expensive. It's an ordinary shoe bought in a discount store.
Look, I represent Silicon Valley, but I think this country needs more than tech and AI jobs. We definitely need manufacturing, and we need to be a manufacturing superpower.
Why?
Here's my problem with the tariffs. On the one hand, he's saying, well, this is not permanent. This is just a negotiating technique. Now, if you really think that, and you're Jim Farley at CEO of Ford, or you're the CEO of Mary Barra, are you going to go to your board and say, well, let's put billions of dollars in building new factories when Donald Trump himself is saying that
literally,
2 months
oh,
later he may take this?
that's another good point. It's like, okay, oh, this is just a negotiating tactic. Okay, so if we build all these manufacturing factories and then look, you actually get what you want from these countries. They actually reduce the deficits they put America trade on. They put America trade in. Okay, so what happened? Do you just what? Seal off those like companies that you built ready for manufacturing jobs? What do you do with it? Because you've got the goal, like you've got the tactics already. You finally won. You've got other countries to do what you want to do. So what happens then? So sure, they can't actually be a negotiating tactic. It really means it. That's such a good point.
But Congressman, I don't think Donald Trump is saying that. Donald Trump is saying we need to raise revenue in a different, old school way through tariffs. He would like this to be permanent. I think the people who are saying that are people like Scott, who would like it to be temporary.
He's saying that that we're here and they're here and they want to do that.
He is tariffing countries.
That's what he's saying.
Tim, he is tariffing countries.
Revenue is secondary.
He is tariffing countries that do not actually tariff us at the levels that we are now tariffing them, because he is using a made-up formula based off of trade deficits.
He said on the plane tonight, I saw before I walked in here, that he's gotten a number of calls from the leaders of other nations around the world. So you wonder what kind of negotiations are going on. If I might offer a piece of advice, though.
His Treasury Secretary literally said, there are no conversations.
Well, the president of the United States said it on the plane tonight, so I don't know who outranks who. But let me just offer.
Exactly. I think to what end is a very important
piece of advice. I do think that if an American ally comes to the table, like Israel did, and said we're totally eliminating our tariffs, we should immediately reward that. Because I do think part of the game here is, if you want to work with us and you want to treat us and American creators and American businesses fairly, we want to do the same for you. Israel did that. I assume other countries are going to do that.
But the problem with that is that Trump right now, what he's doing, he's not just doing it for tariffs. He's doing it because countries are not buying their products. So countries can remove the tariffs. That's fine. But he wants the UK, he wants the EU to buy the chicken. He wants Germany to buy their cars. It's more than just tariffs. If you remove the tariffs that's been put on America, which is 2%, by the way, it still doesn't matter. He still wants you to reduce the threshold of like what you bring into your country to be able to take American products. That's his main goal. So if you remove tariffs on America, that's just one part of the deal. He still wants you to buy stuff from America, even though it doesn't reach, like, it doesn't hit the minimum threshold to be able to sell in the EU or in the UK.
Israel did that, and guess what they did to Israel? They slapped them with a 17%
I know. I'm saying we should treat them the same.
17% tariff.
But if all the countries do what you say, Scott, and everybody does sort of come back to this level playing field, then the president is not going to get this other renaissance in manufacturing and renaissance of new jobs, because the level playing field, you make goods and services where it is economically advantageous to do so. And at the moment, in the United States...
Let's start digging up some diamond mines and exporting those, and then it will justify the tariffs that we have placed on small African nations for diamond imports. Some of this does not make logical sense.
Literally, it absolutely makes no sense. I think anyone that knows anything about how international trade works, like, everything can say it. I think everyone can say it. Even MAGA supporters, they're starting to be like, whoa, like, I understand, but like, oof, this makes no sense. I don't understand. Like, this is starting to get weird, what you're doing. The stock market is crashing. Like, everything right now is looking bleak. And it's just like, where is this going to end? We're not really sure what you're trying to do here. But hey, that's just my opinion. If you enjoyed the video, drop a like. If you want to see more videos like this, subscribe to the channel. And if you have any difference in opinions, put it down in the comments below.